Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Emilio Carpio. I am a licensed professional teacher and an internationally trained lawyer from the Philippines. In today's video, I will share strategies that contributed to my success in passing the NCA Canadian Professional Responsibility Exam. Let's begin. Tip number 1. Commit to advanced preparation. A structured and disciplined approach to preparation is essential, especially when balancing full-time employment with studying for the NCA exams. I developed a study schedule that allocated specific days for each subject, ensuring I started reading at least 2 months prior to the exam date. For instance, my Canadian Professional Responsibility exam was scheduled for August 2024, and I commenced my readings in early June. This allowed me sufficient time to review my notes a week before the exam. As the saying goes, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. Tip number 2. Engage with practice questions. As a licensed lawyer in the Philippines, I recognized that the exam style and expectations of the NCA exams differ from those of the Philippine Bar. Therefore, I dedicated time to practicing with fact-based questions, multiple choice questions, and short answer questions. Although professional responsibility may appear straightforward, the concepts are often interrelated, and subtle distinctions and principles may arise. Practicing questions equipped me to identify these nuances and strengthened my ability to apply relevant principles accurately. Tip number 3. Study the Model Code diligently. I accessed the Model Code of Professional Conduct on the Federation of Law Societies of Canada website at flsc.ca. I thoroughly reviewed each rule and its associated commentaries. When formulating answers, I made frequent and specific references to the Model Code. However, if I was unsure of the precise rule number but confident in my understanding of the concepts, I would cite it generally by stating, according to the Model Code. Tip number 4. Read instructions carefully. Before responding to questions, read the instructions closely to identify the role the examiner expects you to assume, whether as a prosecuting counsel, defense counsel, or a judge. Tailor your response accordingly, structuring your arguments and analysis in line with a designated role. Tip number 5. Address all issues presented. Exam questions may present multiple issues, and it is essential to address each one, unless a specific issue is explicitly stated in the question. Avoid overwhelming the examiner by addressing numerous issues simultaneously. Rather, analyze and respond to each issue separately in a logical and systematic order. Tip number 6. Manage time and marks prudently. Pay attention to the marks assigned to each question, as this correlates with the time you should allocate. Higher mark questions require more detailed responses and thus more time. Mismanaging time by spending too long on lower mark questions can detract from your overall performance. Generally, NCA questions will indicate both the mark allocation and suggested time. Prioritize accordingly. Tip number 7. Ensure all questions receive a response. Answer every question referencing pertinent cases and the Model Code where applicable. If precise references are not readily accessible, refer to those you believe best support your argument. Tip number 8. Do not dwell on uncertain questions. If you encounter a challenging question, or if you experience a mental block, move on to the next question and return to it later. This strategy ensures you maximize your time effectively and approach challenging questions with a refreshed perspective. Tip number 9: remain calm and focused. It is natural to feel overwhelmed when beginning the exam, particularly with the first question. Avoid panicking if you feel uncertain initially. In my experience, this feeling typically subsides within 5 minutes. A composed mind facilitates clear and organized answer. And lastly, tip number 10: think and advocate as a lawyer. Present your answers as a competent legal profession would, crafting arguments that integrate facts, legal principles, and logic. Demonstrate through your responses that you possess the skills necessary to provide sound legal advice in the Canadian legal landscape. That's it, guys. Please watch out for my next videos. Thank you.